On this show, our last of the year, we're going to be talking about closure, about spending time with your family during the holidays, about vision boards, about goals for next year, and how to end your year in a positive note. So stay tuned and watch us. And remember to share, like, and subscribe on our channel. Thank you. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another show of Renovating Riches Radio here directly from our office. We're back at our office, Ricardo.
Office again, Rosenberg, Texas. We just witnessed the guy going the opposite direction. Actually, I did. I didn't tell you anything because I saw it and I was like, oh my God. But I see it so many times now that I got used to it now. I used to freak out when I see the cars going the other way, which, by the way, if you're following me on Instagram or Facebook, last week, I posted a video of a big accident we had right in front of the building, and it was a little scary because when I was actually in my truck talking on the phone to I don't even remember who I was talking to at the time, but all I heard was a big boom, and I said, "Man, somebody ran into the building," and I ran across, and luckily that's not what happened, but it was a huge accident and everybody was okay, but I saw somebody on the floor laying down, and I thought it was a dead person. I was like, oh, my God. I was like, wow, what is going on here? Anyways, that's the stuff we get to see in the front of our building. So it's very exciting. It could be annoying as well because sometimes you hear the sirens, the cops.
We got the emergency office almost right next to our office. So, you know, the ambulances and fire trucks are going by all the time, and but that makes it exciting. You know?
If you listen to our podcast and all of a sudden you hear sirens and things like that, you know why, and or you see us like look crazy or weird somewhere, is because something is happening out there in the background where we might get distracted. But anyways, we're here to put out a lot of great content for you, and it's the end of the year. This one is coming out after Christmas.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be end of 2018. And we want to talk about cycles and, end of year and all that, because I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't believe too much on these time frames and holidays and things that people are kind of like used to. You're more like hustle.
No. Don't get me wrong. I do believe in cycles and ends of years. Actually, I can't wait until it's January 1st. Okay. So I can live 2018 in the past, but I've already started thinking about 2019 long time ago, because my mindset is framed to I need to look towards the future, not the past.
Yeah.
And I know you told me, it's like, man, I can't wait until it's like January 2019. And I was like, man, I'm already there. But that's because I really want to leave 2018 behind, right?
Yeah, but you just said it. You want it to be January 1st. So it's like start a new year, brand new. Let's focus on a brand new year.
You know what's going to be funny?
What?
All the people going to the gym.
Oh yeah, that's that.
I mean, you're gonna see
number one resolution for everyone.
The New Year's resolution. The number one in the planet, I think, is I'm gonna get back in shape. I'm gonna lose weight, or I'm gonna quit smoking. I know a lot. Maybe for some people is I'm gonna quit drinking or doing drugs, whatever the case might be.
It only lasts like 2 weeks, and then
for some people, last minutes. Because I've seen my uncle say I'm gonna quit smoking, and 30 minutes later he's out there having a cigarette.
Second of the year, he's like,
no, the first midnight is 12. You celebrate, hey, happy New Year and everything.
Wait a second, he go and smoke a cigarette.
Exactly, and that's as far as he went with his New Year's resolution. So,
but why are cycles important or not important? What do you think? I mean, I think we all need closure, and
yes,
and that is the big thing about the end of the year. That
is finding closure.
You first of all, you reflect on everything you've done this year, good or bad. You're setting up yourself for the new year, probably going over things you don't want to repeat or things that have been working and you want to expand on. So it's a time of reflection, period.
Yes, it is a time of reflection. It's a time right now, the last 2 weeks of the year is a time where people start to see the future. Like, what am I going to do next year? How do I want my next year to look like? And if you haven't done so already, it's very important that you sit down, write your goals for 2019. That way, when 2019 starts, your goals are written already. If you have a spouse, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or a husband, whatever the case might be, sit down with them so you together do it.
And I know you've mentioned that your family, I know you're not traveling to Miami this year, to spend the holidays with your family, but you have mentioned in other podcasts that this is something that you do as a family, right?
Yes,
you get together and
we get together as a family. We actually go over all the family affairs pretty much. It's like my father, I would say my father, because he's the one that leads the whole family, right? He treats the family as a company. So we have this is what wealthy people do, actually. Because I know he's not the only one. I met a lot of very wealthy people that they have a meeting every year, and sometimes they have one every quarter, depending on how big your family is or how wealthy it is or whatnot. And they talk about the family affairs, which in terms is business. Who's doing, like, who's got a will, who doesn't have a will? Do you have a power of attorney? In case something happens to you, who's going to make decisions on your behalf? Have you opened your living trust or not? So wealthy people, they behave, they handle their families as an enterprise. So we try to do the same or get as close as to, what ultra rich do in order for our future to be brighter. So every December, we sit down in my father's office in Miami, Florida, and we go around and we ask the questions. We analyze where everybody is in life.
Who's pregnant?
Yeah. No, that matters.
I know.
Yeah, it matters. I mean, if you're pregnant, are you okay with the insurance?
Or who's getting married?
Who's getting married? Did you do a prenup agreement before you're getting married, right? We talk about all those things.
Did they ask the question in front of the other
everybody.
of the future spouse?
Yeah, everybody. It doesn't matter.
That'll be interesting.
We put everybody.
Did you sign a prenup and the future wife will be looking at your,
because they know that their family is behind the person that becomes part of our family. So it's not so much about maybe. So I'll give you an example. So let's say Millie and Ale, my sister and her husband, right?
I hope they don't get mad because we're talking about them.
No. So, but let's say that if we had a meeting, and I don't know that this happened or not, but I'm just...
This is hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical case.
Hypothetical.
If Alex is there and my father goes and says, or we do, or whoever goes and says, okay, so you guys are getting married next year, which is something that took place many years ago, right? You guys are getting married next year. Millie, have you done your prenup agreement? And Alec might be all like, what the hell are you?
Wait, what?
What? Yeah, right.
Why do we need that?
And we basically tell him because he will sit down on the meeting as well as a boyfriend about to get married because he's part of the family almost, right? But he'll understand that, you know what? The person I'm marrying, her family is behind her, and they're looking after her best interest. It'll be a great time for him to either run or say, you know what, I better agree to whatever she puts on that piece of paper. Because she knows that she's being, I would say not coached, but she's being helped on getting her affairs in order. And it's not like we're going to force her. We're not going to force her to do anything. She wants to get married without a prenup. That's on her. But what ends up happening is she might not get anything from that board. You know what I'm saying? So, because...
I don't know. It's weird.
No, it's not weird. It is the right way to do it. I'll give you an example. So, let's say you go and tomorrow you pass away.
The what?
You die.
Okay.
And now your wife inherits all your belongings. Insurance, policy, whatever. Okay? Whatever cash you got or whatever debts you have, right?
Everything.
Right, everything. And you didn't leave it on the right vehicle, which is usually a living trust, to protect the assets.
No, I get that part. It's just the prenup part where normally prenup is, so, what I have is mine, what you do is yours, and I'm not going to share anything with you if,
Yeah.
That's usually what the prenup's for.
Right. But exactly. So
as a husband to be, I'll be like, wait a second. I mean, if she's gonna sign a prenup, that means that I'm out of the picture. I mean, why am I even sitting here on this table?
because
And like you say, it's a time for for him to run.
yeah, he needs to understand that we're looking after the interest of our sister.
And we don't care about you.
No, we do care. I mean, that doesn't mean we care. You're not getting the point.
I'm not, definitely.
Yeah, you're not getting the point. So most people go through life without planning what ifs. We all go through life, or most of us go through life hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Right? That we get married and we live a happy life, and then one day we die and our kids, they continue on or whatever. But for the most part, nowadays, people are actually getting divorced more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So not having a prenup is actually kind of stupid, to be honest with you. Not to call you or me stupid, because I don't have one, okay? But me, I'm okay.
No, I do have one. But it's,
you have one. Okay. So you see, you're smarter than I am.
but it's because of the circumstances, my wife's previous marriage.
It's okay. Whatever circumstances there are there, you have one, right? Well, it's the same thing with somebody that is going to get married. Because now the circumstances is, let's say my sister is, and this is hypothetical, people. This is not real life or whatever, but this is how we think, okay? But let's say she's going to get a big inheritance from my father.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think my father wants that money or the assets to go to that guy because she didn't have a prenup? No. So we want to make sure that whatever she gets stays within the bloodline. Now, if he gets passed down to her kids, that's different. But that's the case of a prenup, okay? And the case of a living trust. And
what if he's taking care of the kids because your sister gets ill or something?
That's okay, but that's a what if. You don't leave those things to what ifs. If he does the job, perfect, fine, good for you. And actually, he might start getting paid out of whatever deal, right?
Okay.
No, but that's how wealthy people plan their lives, believe it or not. And even I don't care how poor or rich you are, you got to start behaving that way, because you can't leave it all to what ifs. What if this? What if that? What if if we're the best case scenario is we're all gonna die happy, and and who cares what happens after we die, right? Well, in our case, we do, because I'll give you an example. So let's say tomorrow I die, and I didn't have my affairs in order. My wife marries a new guy, and he goes and takes over everything, and he just destroys what I built. Now where are my sons and kids left? Just because I didn't have my affairs in order. So that's what you're trying to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's not so much emotional or saying that the guy is a bad guy. No. You're just trying to make sure that the predators don't take what it was so hard for a family to build.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reasons why you got prenups, living trust, those kind of things. So every year we sit down, and we just don't talk about that. We talk about personal goals. Okay, Paul, your studio, how is it going, right? Are you growing? Are you shrinking? Are you downsizing? Because as a family, you got to know whether you're going to be able to help that person or not if he's going through struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's going to affect the rest of the family for whatever reason, because nobody wants to have a family member that's going through some tough times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that meeting is all about. I highly encourage that at the end of the year, sit down.
Right before the ball goes down, and you're counting down your end of the year. You just sit down before the drinks start rolling, and
look, however you want to do it, whether it's at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, so you can start the year right. You gotta get all your affairs in order.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get your goals planned. What goals? We sat down and wrote down goals. I don't know how many times in the last few weeks.
Yes.
And we revised some of them, and then we went back and said, man, I don't know if that's going to be right. Or I don't,
That's the part that I like about the end of the year. It's kind of like exciting to see what you have done and what we're doing next year. And, setting, even your KPIs and looking over what you've done. And it's exciting. It's
Yeah.
planning. It's
Because it makes you dream again, or it makes you like we had a very tough year this year, man. I'm not gonna freaking bullshit anybody here watching this show. It has not been easy. We have adjusted and
readjusted.
and we have changed skin color. I don't know how many times, like the chameleons, they blend with the
Camouflage.
the camouflage, right? So what I'm saying is, Dennis, we need to treat our lives and our families more serious as enterprises. That way, we start behaving within our household the same way, and we're more effective with our families, right? So I remember you mentioning one day, you told me not long ago, I said, Ricardo, you know what? I sat down with Nancy and we talked about all these different subjects, and there is something we decided to do, which is, I'm not going to mention, but you said, we're going to do this, and that. And I was like, man, perfect, because that means you're both vibrating on the same frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be pulling that way, and she's going to be pulling that way, right? You're both pretty much going headed the same direction.
Yeah.
So that's what those meetings are all about. It's for families to move towards the same direction, and also to scare away people that want to marry my sister. I got a little sister.
The people that want to marry the money.
Yeah, look, the people that want to marry the money and not the beauty or whatever. But I got a little sister. I'm pretty sure when her boyfriend is gonna come to that board meeting or whatever, I mean, he's gonna really know. You know what? I better behave or better walk the straight line, because her family is going to have her back.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know Millie and Ali will probably be happy forever. I mean, they're just meant for each other. Anyways, Millie and Ali, if you're watching us, we love you guys.
And we had a podcast. If you don't want to know who Millie is, a few weeks ago, Ricardo interviewed his sister. I wasn't able to be present. It's one of the few podcasts that I think the only one that you have done. No, you interviewed your dad also. I wasn't there. But anyways, Millie Arriaga Rosales, sorry. You can watch that podcast if you look
Picnic
on
Films. We say hi to Picnic Films. Go check out their website. They can do great things for you. And anyways, getting back to the end of the year, Dennis. So that's one thing, right? You sit down, you write your goals, you look, you start trying to forecast the future. And to be honest with you, this year for us was very reactive. It wasn't as proactive as we would have loved to have it, because we were trying to put fires here and there, and we should have done that next year goal probably in October, because that's the last quarter. You're already looking into the next year. Mm-hmm. Anything you do in October is going to close December or January anyway, so whatever we're working on today, deal-wise,
it's already going to roll into next year.
It's going to roll into either January or February. So you got to look ahead always. How many months ahead can you plan for? And most people make the mistake of just going through life and not having any planning. Look, even if you go to buy groceries, make a list.
I always do.
Okay, but if the day you don't, or the day you're driving home and your list is home, and you say, okay, I'm going to stop by the grocery store real quick, and you go grab you're going to miss something. By the time you get home,
you're going to miss half the list.
Exactly. By the time you get home, your wife is going to be like, okay, and where is this and where is that? And, okay, I'm sorry, it was on the list. Right? But if you prepare ahead of time, I think you're going to do much better. So Dennis and I have been preparing, at least on our main business right now, which is the wholesaling business, same as cash, heavily, because we got some great plans for next year, and we highly encourage that you do the same. Now, you're talking about closure.
Yes.
And we deviated. People are looking for closure. So December 31st, 2018 is going to be closure for many. And if you can start thinking about what that closure is going to look like for you, it will be a great way for you to end the year with whatever subject that you want closure with, it doesn't have to be business. It could be something personal as forgiving somebody. Okay. I have forgiven many people that, I used to be very, not resentful, but I would be like, somebody would say like, "Oh, forgive me, please," and I was like, "The hell with you," or something like that. And I wouldn't give them the forgiveness, but I didn't know I would carry that with me for a long time.
Yeah, I've heard someone say that forgiveness works for the most part on you rather on the other person.
That is
So
correct.
it's like it's more for. I know in Spanish, and I'm trying to translate, but sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Like-
now I ask for forgiveness all the time. I mean, like, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize, forgive me, But I used to be the opposite, and I would carry those things with me. And then one day I decided, you know what, I'm going to start forgiving a lot of people that did me wrong for whatever reason. And I could never get back to them, because that's the thing. If you can get back to them, then, okay, we're even. We're square. But I could never get back to them. But now I'm just like, you know what, you don't have to carry on with that. So I want to send you a message that if you're holding on to some feelings that you feel that they're holding you back or they're hurting you because you're resentful to somebody that did something for you, like Dennis said, seek closure. You can start. You don't have to do it today, but you can do it December 31st when the New Year's ends, and kind of like
Go and hug them.
yeah,
Or her.
you don't have to even call them or nothing. As long as you forgive them, the universe will let them know that was done, that took place. So end of the year, people are looking for closure. People are happy. Some people are happy because it's Christmas, gifts, partying, maybe a lot of eating and drinking and things of that nature. On our case, my schedule, I got to see 2 houses on Monday now, not 1, 2. Monday is the 24th. Before 24th, oh my God, that was like a day off for me. And then this weekend, I'm also looking at other properties. And so to me, it's different. It's like, I don't see really why I got to take time off right now, or why it's different than any other day during the year. For some other people, is. But anyway, seek for closure and see if you can forgive somebody.
Yeah. Get your goals. It's time to revise your vision boards.
You know what? I just did a new one.
You did?
Oh yeah, I did a new vision board. I don't know if you saw it today when we were doing the Zoom, but it was in the background.
No, I saw the painting that you always have there.
But there was on the other side, there was a vision board. So if you see the podcast coming up next week with Mr. Al Curiel,
oh, it was amazing.
that is amazing. It's gonna be in Spanish. It's gonna be about notes or actually it's more about his career as a real estate investor. Check it out. That's my vision board in the back. I don't know how big it is and if you can detail it, but I put it together maybe a month ago.
I need to do that with my wife probably next week sometime.
I started actually working on it 2 months ago. I went and found all the images, and that's great, man. Can you tell us how to put a vision board together, Dennis?
Well, I'm not an expert. I know there's even books out there on how to build a vision board, but basically, and you even told me when you saw mine that I still have too many blank spaces. I didn't know you have to cover the whole board. But anyways,
You don't have to, but I guess if you want to maximize it,
you maximize real estate even in the board.
Even in the board. That's right. That's the way I think.
No, well, basically you just grab a piece of board or paper or cardboard, whatever, and you start putting pictures of things that you want to accomplish or you want to get, and it doesn't have to be all material things.
Yeah.
People always start thinking about the big house and the cars and this and that, but for some people, and even myself, in my vision board, I have like a guy working out, because I want to get, in shape, and that's part of it. I even have a picture of like a lady eating an ice cream, sitting on a staircase, and if you look at it, it's like, what? Your goal is to eat ice cream? And it's like, no, she looks relaxed, and that's one thing that's a big goal of mine. It's for my wife to feel relaxed because she's always stressed out, with the kids and all that, running errands and whatnot. So those things are part of my vision board. And of course, I have a few cars here and a big boat and a house. But you just put your goals there, and the idea is to put it somewhere in your house where you're always, or at least once or twice a day, you have to look at it. So in our case, we have it in our bathroom, opposite of the mirror where where the vanity is. So every time I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, I look at the mirror and I immediately look at the board. I see the reflection there, and that's when I start being grateful, and I think about everything that I have, and I look at the vision board, my goals, what I'm working for, what really matters in my life. And as the year goes by, some of those things you're going to achieve, so you got to revise it. So every year or every so often, you need to take a look and say, okay, I already accomplished this and this and this. You take it out, and then you put new things in, because you need to keep improving and growing and building. And, it wouldn't be fun to do everything and say, okay, I'm done, So,
right. And sometimes you're going to have a vision board, and not exactly the things that you're putting there are going to manifest like within months. No, sometimes it takes 5 years, 10 years,
It depends what you put there, exactly.
Right, it depends what you put there. If you say you want to buy the, I don't know, the Empire State Building, and you haven't bought your first house, then
it might take a few years.
It might take you a little while to do that. But yeah, the way I do my vision boards, Dennis, is same thing. I get up a cardboard and something that I can, I get all these magazines that sometimes we have in the house. I don't even know why. I don't know.
Just print it off the internet.
I print them off the internet too, but I get the magazines. I cut the pictures of the magazines that we get from, I think it's American Express or something like that. They all have fancy stuff.
They all have fancy. Yeah, I know.
So I cut the pictures. I put it there. But I also go on the internet and I look for the picture of the car that I want, and I print it out and I post it there. I also printed pictures of me and our family together, because for me that's very important. Being together with your family, always together. I've actually, one that I have is a picture of a boy and a girl, and I already have Maximo. I have Oriana, but there's another girl coming up now.
There you go.
So
it's see, all the vision board.
That one is on the vision board and is getting to work out. February, I'll have a new daughter, and I'm looking forward to it. So being grateful, like you said, actually, I got two. Before I get into the gratefulness state, I have two vision boards. I have one on my gym where I exercise every morning.
You have Arnold Schwarzenegger right there.
No. That's that vision board. I've actually had that one for quite a while. I built that vision board probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I still have it there. But some of those things are starting to manifest,
materialize.
Yeah, materialized. I call it manifestation. I am a huge believer in that. Things that you think about and you talk about, you attract, and you see. Attraction. And so I have that one there, and then in the office I put the new one, the one we built. Cristal and I built about a month or two ago, and they're different vision boards. Like one has nothing to do with
that's what I was asking. If the one in the gym, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, flexing his muscles and
no, none of that stuff. It's more the one in the gym is got a few things, travel, that kind of stuff. I like to travel. I like to go to new places, meet people all over the world. And the other one down there in the office is more about money. So it's not actually things; it's money itself. So we built that one, but also something I started doing. It's I go to bed every night, and I'm grateful for many things. I'm grateful for the day. It doesn't matter how easy or how hard it was. I go to bed in a state of gratefulness.
Yes.
And that allows me to sleep much better. I still get up in the morning sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, thinking about, challenges, right? Because your subconscious mind, you go to sleep, but not your subconscious mind. It continue trying to solve challenges, right? So you get up and you're like, oh my God, I got to work on this and work on that. And a couple of days ago, I got up at 4:30 in the morning. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to go exercise right now. I'm going to go do this. And by the time it was 8, I had already accomplished like half of the stuff I usually do during the morning. But anyways, in the morning when I get up in a state of gratefulness as well. So the first thing I do is I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my wife, for for our business, for our business partner, for our employees, for everybody that we're coming in contact with. And that allows me to handle the day much better because now I'm going about the day in a positive mindset, which is something that I will see the end of the year as, you know what, be grateful for whatever happened this year, good or bad.
Just the fact that you're alive and you're breathing and you're able to, I mean, that itself, it's an accomplishment.
And start the new year in the same state, being grateful. Treat it as we treat our days, right? I treat my evenings on being grateful, my mornings being grateful. So the year is something very similar. It's just that it's longer, the cycle. So close your cycles, be grateful. Any questions you guys have,
forgive people.
Forgive people. Hold your family meetings. Get everybody on the same page.
Get a prenup, everyone.
No. I mean, you don't look. This is just what these wealthy families do. They handle their families as businesses. They sit around the table as a board of director, and that's pretty much why those meetings are like that.
Well, with that we're going to give closure. Is this going to be our last podcast of the year?
We have one next week with Al Curiel, and it's going to be in Spanish, and then the following week as well, because it's two 30-minute episodes. So stay tuned. Check it out. Thank you for being out there. We're grateful for you. We hope you enjoy this content. Don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe.
Yeah, we reach our goal of 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel this year. So 2019, we're going to hit for 1,000. We're going to go for the 4 figures.
Yeah.
So help us with that goal. Share the show with your friends, family, people that might be interested.
And this is organically, Dennis, because we can always pay for fake subscribers, right? No, this is all organically.
We're growing this one by one with you guys sharing the show and giving us like and subscribing. So thank you so much. Thank you for being part of this. We're going on into our
That's
second
100,
year, right?
100 subscribers on YouTube, but on the podcast, we do have a lot of listeners.
Oh yeah.
So that one is different because people get to listen to it in the car.
People don't like to watch our faces as much as they like to listen to us. No, but being serious now, thank you everyone. Enjoy the holidays. Take care. Don't drink and drive. Make sure you hug your family. You say how much you love them, especially your kids. We hustle a lot and sometimes don't spend the time we have to with our loved ones. So this is a time to kind of reflect on that and maybe, spend a little more time with them and enjoy it.
You guys have a great year. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.